Attacking and slamming. Oh, Case and Wallace in transition with the...
Oklahoma City is no longer asking if it can win, it's being asked if it can win again. The Thunder didn't just break a 57-year championship drought, they swept through the playoffs on high-octane energy, outperformed every prediction, and planted the first seeds of a potential dynasty. Now, whispers in NBA corridors, betting lines, and fans' wallets wonder, can they repeat? Let's break it down. They enter next season mostly unchanged. Same core, same coach, same championship pedigree. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the reigning MVP, Jalen Williams is an all-NBA powerhouse, Chet Holmgren anchors both ends, and the supporting cast, Caruso, Isaac, Wallace, rose into national conversation thanks to their finals heroics. Everyone signed on through next year. In basketball, continuity is underrated, and that continuity lets them skip the rebuild. Instead, OKC models synchronicity. But championship runs are rarely about names on a roster. It's about identity. The identity forged by this Thunder team is defense first, ball in your hands, grab and go basketball. They led the league defensively and used that identity to drive tempo, exploit mistakes, and beat opponents with discipline. In Game 7 of the finals, they didn't fire up fireworks. They let dunk after dunk and each turnover erase Indiana's hopes. That championship DNA is now woven into every design pattern, and opposing coaches know it. Every benchmark from their title run screams dominance. 68 regular season wins, 12.9 average margin of victory, top defensive rating, and turnover rate among the league's best. Not to mention all starters making all-star or all-defensive teams. They carried that into the finals, where their defense tightened further and offensive execution solidified under pressure. This wasn't a young team on ride. It was a finely tuned engine performing at peak. Forget Cinderella stories. This was legacy material in motion. But now the challenge shifts. The league is gunning for them. Every team sees the blueprint, stop their ball movement, limit transition, bump their lanes, double the stars. They wasted no time preparing for OKC in the offseason. The Celtics retooled their front court. Denver added perimeter defenders. Houston bundled Shaq, and Spurs added depth. Control isn't handed over, it's stolen. And yes, opponents had a full season to study the Thunder's tape. Now the onus is on OKC to innovate again. The other Achilles heel? Injuries. OKC stayed healthy this year. That's rare. Chet didn't miss a single playoff game. Shai never limped. Infrared players remained available. Even Westbrook and Mitchell stayed out of jeopardy. But history shows it only takes one tweak. An ankle, a rest, a blowout game to shift the pendulum. Keeping everyone healthy isn't luck, it's careful load management, strength prep, and yes, some luck. Then there's complacency, a silent killer. After one taste, it's easy to lose fire. But this Thunder rotation has veterans hungry for more and young studs eager for fingerprints on history. There's a difference between reliving the moment and rewriting it. OKC coaches have spoken publicly about staying hungry, focusing on daily process, not past celebration. That hunger is the only way the repeat defense works. Now let's talk off-season acquisitions. The Thunder still have cap space and draft picks. They nearly traded for a star mid-season. While that didn't materialize, internal sources say they're still pondering a high-impact swing, a stretch big, a defensive wing specialist, or athletic shooting. If they pull that off, it points to intent. They aren't satisfied with one ring. They're wanting a ring formation. The financial markets concur. Odds have OKC as the team to beat next season, heavy favorite in most sportsbooks. Fans are betting their off-season savings. High rollers quietly placed seven-figure bets last finals series, confident even when the margin tightened. This is not mania, it's conviction. But what if all that pressure snaps? OKC has championship coaches who know how to guard champions get complacent. They've shown poise in closeouts, team unity, and endgame discipline. That said, next season's schedule includes 7 taxing back-to-backs and extended road trips. Those tests expose internal weaknesses. Their success will depend not just on skill, but temperament, resilience, and adaptability. Some analysts argue they peaked, or that shifting defensive schemes are inevitable. But GM Sam Presti built this window to last multiple years. Strategic drafting, smart trades, extensions before free agency. This isn't a flash-in-the-pan experiment. He could unload salary to chase bigger stars if needed. Instead, he's doubling down on culture and confidence. Other twist: now that they're champions, rivals will try to match physicality and pace. The league may slow the pace, tighten refs on contact, or ban certain defensive sets. Anything to take away the Thunder's edge. How OKC adapts will define their legacy. So where things stand: roster intact, championship identity, depth and roles embedded, room for added stars, opponents studying them loaded. It's not a sure thing, but few dynasties ever are. If they do repeat, they join an elite list. Lakers 80s, Bulls 90s, Warriors 17-18. A repeat cements their method, not just adding stars, but building a system that outlasts breakout years. It changes the NBA's value equation. You could win slow. You could win focused. You could win without super teams. Thunder might prove that again. If they don't, it isn't failure. They constructed a modern model, drafting well, drafting youth, caring about defense, and believing in process over spectacle. That model feels built for longevity. Hit like if you believe the Thunder can become the NBA's next dynasty. Comment below who poses the biggest threat in the West next season. Subscribe for deep coverage of OKC, finals history, and next-gen basketball strategies. The story continues. Will the Thunder reign again? Or did they just raise the bar for the rest of the league?